got an hour to throw this in and I don't even have my microphone together. Let's go, one take.
Welcome to Yokoso Japari Pakyo Tambatan Osawagi. Ugao Takakani warai waraeba furenzu Kenka shitesu chikabuchika shitemo nakayoshi Kemono wa itomo kemono wa inai Honto no ai wo koko ni aru Hora kimi mo手をつないで大冒険 One, two, three Welcome to Yokoso Japari Pakyo Tambatan Osawagi 形も十人十色だから惹かれ合うの夕暮れ空に夕日をそっと重ねたら初めましてを落としたいな
Oh shit. Oh, this is gonna be shit.
振り向けばあちらこちらでトラブルなんてこった点でまだちょっとことのない獣でその多めに見ててねみんな自由に生きている君もなさらなくて大丈夫はいどうぞナイスミーチュージャパリパ今日からはどうぞよろしくねいつもいつでも優しい笑顔君を待っていたの
抱かれたけど夢もいっぱい語ったら
どこまででも続いてくグレージャーニー東へ吠えろ西へ吠えろ世界中に響けサファリメロディー Welcome to ようこそジャパリパ Welcome to ようこそジャパリパ今日もドタンバタ大騒ぎ姿形も十人十色だから惹かれ合うの夕暮れ空に指をそっと重ねたはじめましてと知りたいなうがおララララララララ Oh welcome to the ジャパリパラララララララララ集まれ友達ララララララララ Oh welcome to the ジャパリパララララララララ素敵な旅立ちようこそジャパリパ
We're all friends who are bad at singing.
Be sugoi, everyone.
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Addon, and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? We are going to be working on the first official round of Tabletop Online. My unfortunate white whale, holy grail. But here we are. So what are we doing this stream? Well, last stream, during the kind of the pre-show of everything, I meticulously went through and cried my heart out, realizing that everything I love is a failure and I want to kill everything. Mostly everything in this game, I mean. So what I'm going to be doing this stream is cutting. I'm going to be going through everything and cutting what doesn't fit. And if that means classes, begone classes. If that means things that don't need to be there, they're going away. We can rewrite them later. But if it needs to go, it's going away. So, let's start our terrifying little journey already. So, classes, skills. First things first, skills. You're all terrible, and I hate all of you, so you are all going on the chopping block. Doink. There you go. This game was the mistake that was made. But don't worry, this is what we have to do. So our ties. I'm going to have to rewrite the classes in general, just because I'm going to have to update combat entirely. Pretty much what I'm thinking about doing for combat is basing it around a basic stamina system. And effectively, it's spend stamina equal do action. However, and when you may be saying, well, what about mages? Well, mages have to spend stamina to begin casting a spell. And then spend a second stamina to cast said spell. So the core crux of the martial caster disparity is casters are going to have more utility, but martials are going to have more actions. So effectively, casters want to boost their martials up rather than I'm going to cast fireball death lasers on everything I dislike. Because a caster is going to be able to assist their fighters more than if they just go alone. And vice versa. So if you are a martial caster, that's going to be kind of your duty is to effectively make yourself a little bit tougher and protect your backline a little bit better. But which brings me to, where are you? Okay, healer's going to get a full revamp. I'm going to actually put a note for myself there. Healer fix me, please. And Mage Knight, going away. Doesn't work. Isekai, that's actually going to get cut and put somewhere else. And so I'm going to actually just go all the way to the bottom here. Paste Isekai down there, because Isekai isn't going to be part of the main book. That's not the point. Races. Bad. So, if we actually look at my big think board, I said if we can look at our my big think board. Okay, there we go. This is what I have so far for my big think board. Effectively, this is going to be the main thing of. Wait, okay, I don't really care. This is the main. Oh, God damn it! Oh, wait. Our main crux of the game right here is the guild. This is our main goal. And we're going to put in guild management features, and pretty much dungeon delving is completely in service to that fact. What I'm going to be doing is making just a few core races, and each of the races are pretty much going to be doing, well, they're going to be like MMO races, because if we really think about it, in like a lot of MMOs, race doesn't really actually mean all that much. It gives you some starting ones and maybe gives you some access to some special things, but it's not really that big of a deal. So, I'm only going to do some very basic ones: elf, dwarf, human, beast person, and like demons or something, because there's always that race. Or I might just make battle lollies. I don't know. So I'm going to wing it, because that's what I do best. So, yeah, combat's going to be our big issue, but I know how to do it. But right now, this stream is going to be dedicated to this. Cut the chaff. Things that don't need to be there are going to go away. And we're going to do that by angrily making things go away. Yoink. Yep, go away, combat. You're all bad and terrible. I hate you. Battlefield stuff, I'm going to have to rewrite that. Elemental attacks. That's going to need to get fixed. Mechanify this a bit more. Yeah, no, you are right. Again, race, pretty much, it's one of those weird things with a lot of these, like anime and stuff, because your race means a whole lot if it means a whole lot, but if it doesn't, it means absolutely nothing. There's no in between. And a lot of these things weirdly don't have a lot of nuance to them, because you're like, maybe we have some racial tensions between... No, everyone's just cool with each other. Unless it's just like, demon bad. Me very aggressive about that fact. I'm like, alright, cool. Let's see. So I just need to clean magic up. Advancement, it's going to need a little bit more. Now, weapons, I'm going to... Actually, what I should put is... tie weapon/armor to the character classes. Yeah, because that's going to be a big thing. I'm going to be tying various weapons to various classes. We're making it. That's what we like to see. I've been wondering on how that's been going. I didn't see in the last big homebrew thread, which hopefully will be actually in about a week, mind you. So keep your head up and tell me how things go in that next big thread. But yeah, no, that's really good news. I've been wondering how that went. Yeah, you've been kind of silent on a few things. I'm like, oh God, something happened. But hey, good news. Cheers. Don't know about this tea. It's tension tamer. I ran out of my good stuff, so I have this kind of budget tea. Doesn't really go well with the whiskey. Still gonna drink it, but let's see. We're going, and ranged weapons are gonna be kind of the same thing, because effectively what I'm thinking about doing is say. I can respect that, thanks. But yeah, no, Gate, don't get me started. Gate's beautiful because it's so terrible. It's the kind of terrible we can all get behind. But what I'm thinking about for weapons is, say, like casters here. Oh, hello, phone. Casters don't have access to a lot of weapons, so they're going to be like dagger and staff. Godspeed and good luck. I think the problem with Gate was like Gate was a flawed concept to begin with because of why it was created and who funded it. Because it was JSDF stuff. JSDF made sure that that anime got made. They're the ones who bankrolled it. And they still use it. They still fucking use it for recruitment tools. It's great. I love it. Oh, no. That's the best part. They use it, though. They didn't realize it. At first, they were in it. I remember this. Yeah, no. They were in it at first, and they're the ones who dumped some money into it at the start. But then it started coming out that, like, he's, like, a crazy motherfucker. And they're like, oh, fuck. That was... Because they use it as JSDF. Oh, fuck. Someone... Yeah, that's what I heard. That JSDF, and actually, let me... I wonder if I can find it. Because you got shit like this. That was like a legitimate, like, thing that was going around for a very long time. That's not promotional material for the anime. That's like, join the JSDF. Oh, yeah. You got more stuff like this. It's some weird stuff where that money went. Because I know there was a lot of weird shit with that anime. Just more stuff behind it. Exactly, but then they started promoting the Gate stuff. Because I think it got popular. I mean, I've read so much shit about Gate, and some of it is like, you know, And it's so contradictory in some places because everything's in Japanese and it's kind of hard to read that. But it's like, oh hey, here's this like anime stuff over here, and then it's just like gate, join so you can get your waifu. I'm like, Japan. Yeah, welcome. This is now a gate stream, everyone. Hope you like it. But as I was saying, you know, casters here, they may only have access to, like, dagger, staff, sling. Like, they have very limited equipment, but, like, a warrior is going to have access to literally everything under the sun. Because that's their role. Their role is to be, bring out the hammer when we need the hammer. And that makes sense. But it's just like, as a warrior, if you need to bring out the mace, you can bring out the mace because you're skilled in it. If you're a warrior and need to bring out the sword, you can bring out the sword because you're skilled in it. Caster can't use it. They physically, if they attempt to swing the mace, it's going to do nothing. It's going to be of no value to them. So that's what they want to do. Unless you get skills for it, which I might be doing skills differently. Exactly, being this like, oh, I'm going to use this, you know, awesome mace, and I'm going to hit you because I'm a wizard, and the wizard does no damage with it because it's useless, and they get a huge penalty to it. So, I think these all work. Not great. I remember one of my players got very mad that I called it the energy drink. I was just like, yeah, no, it's the energy drink. Crafting, guess what, everyone? Hey, crafting. Yeah, eat skedeet. I'm gonna actually do a bit of cleaning here. Effectively, with like dungeons, the entire idea was that they were supposed to be side content. I'm gonna make it main content. Like the dungeon is the thing that you're doing in this game. Reactions and relationships, guess what's fucking awful, and I hate it. Goodbye. We've already cut so much random shit. The party is characters unites. I'm gonna cut the party experience. Or do I cut the party experience? You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna cut the party experience. I'm actually gonna fix this. I'm actually literally just going to have to I'm just going to delete literally all of this because it's bad. And this, I guess. Do I cut this? Yeah, I'm going to cut this. All of that, goodbye. Go away. Just fix this, please. Bonus level. Okay, so. Shh. Shh, everything's fine. Don't question it. Let's see. What needs to get cut here? Monk works. Gladiator works. Ranger. Ranger just needs a full overhaul. Slayer sort of works. That's kind of how you make your barbarian. Dancer. No. Goodbye, Dancer. You're a fun, weird little concept. So, new knowledge skill. For crafting checks, goodbye. I'm actually going to keep it. Gadgetry. I like the machinist, but I need to cut it. It just doesn't work. The Golemancer, Golomancer and Summoner, I might just merge these into one class entirely. So I'm just going to cut the Golomancer, keep the Summoner. Scarmage. I think that works. The Noble, that's going away, because it literally serves no purpose. Isekai classes. Isekai classes are really simple, because they don't really need to get cut, except Stupid Sexy Salaryman, you're getting cut. We're playing D&D now. Anything. True Friends, Virgin Wizard, Absurdly Useless Skill. Otome protagonist. Alright, let's see. +1 to initiative, status ailment, inexplicably attractive. Goodbye. Is inexplicably attractive to the same gender. Idleru. Idleru is going to need just a full overhaul of how it actually... how it functions, but I know how it should. Somehow it shows up. Yeah, that's fine. Reincarnated monster. That kind of works, kind of doesn't. I need to fix that. The Handyman. Oh, Jesus. We can fix it. We can build it. No. Bob the Union Scab. Yeah, okay. There's Midas Fist, my pain. The pain only makes me in. I should just cut. Pain only makes me angrier. Intimidating aura, it's in the contract. Bro of my bro. And then gun, just like my Japanese anime. Okay. Okie dokie then. Actually, expansion packs, begone. We don't need you. Okay, so we've cut a chunk of stuff. So I'm gonna go back to the original version here. To see how much we have actually cut as of right now. Word count. So 81 pages, 14,000 words. 57 pages, 10,000 words. So yeah, we've cut about 4,000 words and quite a few pages. No. Okay, so with the cutting done, why can't I play? No, you cannot play as Truck Cunt. It's not that kind of isekai game. No, that would be one hell of an isekai. You just get isekai'd as the truck. Come on, Japan. You've given us literally everything else. Actually, is that... Turkun anime. Doki, let's see, Truck-kun, isekai manga? No. Okay. Unfortunately, the truck has yet to become an isekai protagonist. This is truly the darkest timeline. 0 out of 10 would not. I did actually debate on making a card game, which is all about being, tropey isekai protagonists building up shit. And one of them, there were some really stupid ones, like someone could play a magic sword that gets reincarnated, and you have to go with another player and just steal all their points. There was, I think I did add the truck, in which the entire idea is that you can just kill a player whenever you want. But you you can't get any women, because that's how you scored points, is building a harem. That was one way. You couldn't do that. And you were actually not very good at anything else. You just killed everything, all other players. Okay. But fun fact, everyone, I am terrible. I think it is. I think there's options for it. There's a 5e class. Let's point and laugh at the 5e class. Yeah, this is a thing that exists. I feel sad. I can't multi classes as my giant sentient weapon. I feel so sad. 0 out of 10. Bad game. I mean, I did by sheer technicality. I know, like, why? I did make in Monster Girl Adventures, you can technically play a sentient sword, but sentient swords in Monster Girl Encyclopedia verse are weird parasite creatures. They're really weird. The parasite, oh, that was such a pain in the ass to write. That was just a pain, not fun pain, just ugh. Alright, so chaff has been cut. And with chaff cut, I think now I can either... Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? This isn't gonna be a long stream, mind you. Just make that one anime where guns are like women, but also guns. Girls Frontline? The fact that I know that's like immediately Girls Frontline, just shoot me. Just put a gun to my head. Actually, don't even put a gun to my head, because it's going to be a waifu. Japan has looted everything, if I've learned anything. Like, if it exists, there's probably an anime about it. There's an anime about crotch rocket motorcycles. There's an anime about fucking, you know, board games. There's the board game anime where they play Catan. They literally play Settlers of goddamn Catan. But it's cute anime girls being cute anime girls. But they'll never adapt, One Shot, was it called? I can see it in my head. I want to say it was One Shot. It was literally cute girls doing cute things, except they play tabletop RPGs. It's actually pretty informative in some of the things they did. Whoever wrote that was damn good. They knew what they were doing. Yeah, Girls Frontline is a game. Main character is a Sig 550. Sig 550 anime. Oh, Apote. Yeah. That's, UPOTTE. Exclamation point. Yeah, here's your anime, by the way. Oh, I'm gonna violate so much TOS. There. Appreciate your M14 waifus, everyone. You don't hear it, but the melon is currently cooming. Yeah. See, I like Japan anime. Always have, always will. Ever since my friend turned me on to it in high school, I was just it's always been a fascination to me. All right, so when it comes to all I'm saying is that if you look hard enough, there's probably something that allows you to do that. If I, again, look hard enough, and Japan will deliver. It's just like, alright, cool. Here we go. Japan's doing this now. So, I was actually doing a lot of research on how to do this kind of combat. Because what I want, and you know what, we're going to go on a little bit of a magic adventure. Okay, where is it? We'll go here. Don't care. I do not give a rat's fucking ass. I could care less. I don't. Yippee-ki-yeet, don't care. And I don't care 5G is causing coronavirus. I don't care. Oh my god, stop doing ads. I just want to see Terra Combat. It's not that. Because I'm lazy. Okay? I'm a lazy asshole and doesn't want to install an ad blocker because my last ad blocker I downloaded exploded on my computer and made my life miserable. Oh my god. Of course, it's like the worst fucking gameplay ever. Alright, cool. That's awful at everything. Give me hyper-violence. I just want violence. That's a little girl. Oh my god, all these are like from 8 years ago. Oh, I hate everything. I hate video games. Video games are trash. I should get an ad block, but it's like, oh god, I don't want to... See, I don't want to block the ads for people I actually enjoy watching. That's my problem. Like, I don't want to deny you sweet YouTube money. Not true. So, effectively, if we look here, action focus with an emphasis on movement. So, one of the key things about Terra Combat, if I can, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to zoom in right here. So, let's say this is our big enemy right here. Let's say this is me. I'm triangle. Terra Combat's a lot about hitting, backing off, dodging around angles of attack, and generally trying to make sure that your attacks are doing what you want to do while they are not hitting you with their attacks except when they auto-attack. And that's kind of the... Effectively what I'm going for is action RPG combat. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. But that's weirdly difficult to find. Actually, is that... So, we have our basic spend stamina, do a thing. So, if we do something like... Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so people can actually see a little bit easier. So, combat at its core is about movement and set up and knock down. Action RPG combat. No, I don't care. Action RP, you know, tabletop action RPG combat. Okay, look at that. Best combat system in RPGs. Rain why RPG combat is broken. Let's see the insightful people at our RPG design. And follow from there. Okay, that's awful. It's literally about a video game. Good job, our RPG design. You managed to disappoint me yet again. feel real sad. What are the most popular? Okay, you can just buy 5th edition, Blades in the Dark, Masks, Feng Shui, Bubblegum Shoot, Star Trek Adventures, Fate, Starfinder, Fiasco, and Numenera. Those are your games that are the best tabletop RPGs of all time. It's kind of difficult to even put into words, because I can see it. In my head, I can see it. But enunciating it gets a little bit more difficult, because effectively, a lot of action RPGs, one of the key thing about... I don't know why Rohawa wasn't on that list. It is pretty much an art piece at this point. But effectively, action RPGs have a certain kind of kinetic movement to them. It's a lot of going forward, attacking, moving back, and generally I have planning strikes, managing stamina. I actually watched a lot of Ghost of Tsushima and Sekiro, trying to get across the idea of you are moving and attacking at the same time, which in RPGs, tabletop RPGs, is kind of a weird thing to think about, because think about we'll just use the granddaddy of them all, the big boy on campus that bullies all of us poor indie devs, D&D. Once you get stuck in combat in D&D, you're stuck in combat. That's what you do. You are going to stand there and you're going to accept hitting that person repeatedly. And they're going to hit you, and everyone stays fairly static after a point. Now, mind you, in universe, quote unquote, it's them moving around, them doing stuff, but you're not really seeing that. That's what I was thinking about, because in video games, you can get away with that. Hell, even in things like Baldur's Gate, it had things like opportunity attacks, but it wasn't that important, you could say. But you need to have that kinetic motion, that going from point A to point B quickly and with grace. And I've been actually playing a lot of The Remnant from the Ashes. It's okay. Not my jam. I was sold on Dark Souls with guns. I got Diablo trying to wear the skin of Dark Souls with guns. But the way it moves, I didn't like. Because Ghost of Tsushima, Sekiro, Dark Souls even, you're moving back and forth. There's this movement to everything you do. That one, you don't really get that movement. It's you dodging around and you taking pop shots whenever you can. But then I remembered Kenshi. Kenshi's a fantastic game in which everyone should play because it's great. But Kenshi has a lot of movement in its combat. Characters move around a lot. They take shots. They back up. They move forward. I was thinking of something like that, or, this is going to sound absolutely cursed, taking a little bit from, what's its name, Riffs, and the Megaversal system. And the idea is, because you're going to have the stamina system. Warriors expend stamina a little bit slower than mages. Mages have to use a lot of stamina to actually use their abilities, but they're being protected. What I was thinking of doing is a risk-reward system, where, as a player, you're incentivized to go in there, use the stamina to move into combat, make a few swings, get out. You want to dance around the enemy a little bit, but you're consuming all your stamina so you can't defend yourself as easily. and you're going to be taking a lot of damage if you get hit. But you want to get out of there, and the idea is that you aren't getting hit for the, quote, wind-up, end quote. Where, on the other hand, if you want to be conservative about things, not do a lot of damage and do a lot of little damage, it's you go up there, you hit them, and you move around them. And that's it. You still have, let's say we have 5 base stamina. It's move, attack, move. Or even just attack, move. Or just attack. And then you have these 4 extra stamina that you can use to do things with. Oh, okay, they're going to attack me. Well, I'm going to block with my shield. Okay, that's going to take a stamina. Or I'm going to try to, defend myself against this attack. That's going to take stamina. I want to do a thing. It takes stamina. So it's always kind of have to worry about that resource. I think Ellie's Dice Souls, I believe, have a mechanic like this. And that's going to be something I'm probably going to be referencing. At least Fire is Far Away. Anyway, even if I can fucking find the book anymore. 1d4 chance, still dead in the corpse pile. But I believe Ellie has this in his Dice Souls game. Where you want to incentivize players to go in there for big combat. For example, let me go down to... like the Gladiator, for example. I want the Gladiator to go in there, dance around the foe, hit them a few times, back out. They are a dex fighter at its core. They're moving fast, hitting people faster, and getting out. While something like the, the Slayer, on the other hand, they want to stick in the fight. They want to keep in there, they want to stand there, and they want to take a punch to the face because they get stronger as they get hurt. They play very differently, but let's say, I'm playing a Gladiator Slayer. Well, your playstyle changes because you have the ability to move around quickly, but you want to take those big hits so you do more damage. So you're trying to position yourself into optimal places. Well, I'm only going to take 5 damage here, but if I stand here, I'm going to take 10 damage. So I'm going to stay here, take a little bit of damage, and then I can just deal it back, twofold. While tanks, on the other hand, don't really want to use a lot of their actions, because they're going to stand there, they're big heavy armor, they're big shield, and they're going to sit there like a big brick shithouse and take a punch to the face, because they can ignore a lot of the damage, because that's the point of them, is that they take the damage so other people don't have to worry about it. The mage, on the other hand, if they're forced to start moving around, they're not casting. They're not doing their job. They're being distracted. They're being kited. They're being attacked. So there's always this risk-reward of the tank's job is to make sure that the enemies don't get behind him and start harassing the guys in the back. While the guys in the back are trying to make sure that the people up front, the frontliners, are staying alive, and they're doing the damage. They're expending their resources effectively. Because let's say you're playing a mage or something. Let's say wizard healer, for example. If I want to cast heal, it's going to take 2 of my let's say theoretically 5 stamina. 1 to prep the heal, 1 to heal. Then I can say, well, I'm going to obviously prep another spell. I'm going to prep a magic missile, I'm going to shoot the magic missile, and then I'm going to move. I've used all of my actions. If I'm attacked, I'm helpless. I can literally do nothing. But that's the point. You are doing these few things, but they're very effective. You're healing someone. You're doing a big chunk of damage. While melee guys are more concerned about managing that stamina, the second-to-second stamina. That didn't work. I guess I have to put a few different dodge maneuvers in there. Setup and knockdown mechanics. So we'll base it around 5 stamina. 5 stamina, so it's pretty much 5 simple actions or 2 complex actions plus 1 simple. Simple actions take 1 stamina, complex take 2, and now the question lies is, should stamina roll over? That's the big question. Because on one hand, if you let stamina roll over, stacking becomes an issue. Where it's the, I'm not going to do anything this round, I'm not going to do anything this round, I'm not going to do anything this round, I have a lot of stamina, boom, 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 I win. Unless you establish a cap of it of some sort. Well, what do you call the cap? Do you base it off an attribute? Is it just a set cap? I wonder if I can find stamina logic. Stamina. So actually, let's go down to combat, because I can't really work on the classes until the combat's done. That's kind of the key thing of this little dance party here. Okay, so inevitably characters will be forced to confront each other in pitched battle. Whenever slashing swords or blasting magical spells, when combat begins, all characters roll 1d6 plus dex. Let's change that to 2d6 plus dex just to make that a little bit easier. Oh god, do you even do that with initiative? God, is there a different way of handling initiative then for something like this? Different initiative systems. Initiative systems tabletop. Let's see, roll for order, roll for activation slots, alternating, action best. Skyrim conversion project. Oh. Let's see. Determined by their agility. This seems flawed in various ways, so I'm going to gracefully ignore this because this is terrible. So let's think about it like this when it comes to our basic action systems. Let's keep with initiative as it is. Let's just call a spade a spade. We're going to keep the initiative as it is. We're going to do 2d6 plus dexterity unless one party is ambushed, and respectively would act first. And we're going to cut you. Also, these really cool little program I found called the Fire Emblem Token Creator it does exactly as you think it does. It allows you to make custom Fire Emblem tokens. It's really neat. And I encourage anyone who needs like really sample characters to use it, because it's actually pretty cool. Alright, so yeah, here, give me 1 second. Here we go. I keep clicking on Discord, being like, obviously this is what it's called. It's literally just called the token creator. It uses Java, by the way, so bear that in mind. Merry Christmas, everyone. Pretty neat, actually. I did a few of these, and mind you, you get, obviously you get the portrait here, and then you also get like a sprite, quote unquote sprite of it, which is actually kind of cool unto itself. But let's see, let's scroll out a little bit. So all characters have stamina, which represents their ability to act during combat and successfully perform maneuvers. A starting character has 5 stamina. Actually, what I should say, an average character has 5 stamina. An average character has 5 stamina, which allows them to perform a variety of actions split between simple and complex. Simple actions require 1 stamina, while complex actions require 2. The setup action, and the execution action. Character talents may affect stamina, or require the use of stamina to perform additional moves or abilities. A character with no stamina is regarded as fatigued, and actually a character restores all of their stamina at the start of their next turn. Which I should actually do as the footnote. A turn is an individual character's action, while a round is the total of all characters' actions. If the character has remaining stamina at the start of their next turn, they begin with an additional +1 stamina to act with. So if you have if you have 3 stamina left over, you only get the +1 stamina. So yeah, you get an additional +1 stamina to act with. Okay, yeah. A character reduced to 0 stamina. Actually, no, I'm not going to add that in. Don't need it. Okay. Actually, I wonder if I still have my Fire Emblem tokens. No, I don't think I have my tokens anymore. Ah, bummer. Footnotes. Let's do insert footnote. Insert footnote. Highlight, Control X, paste the formatting. And now we have actions. And I'm going to have to break this down into simple and complex. So actions in combat, we're going to make simple actions, complex actions, defense actions. So, simple actions. Basic attack. Basic attack. The character attacks a target with their weapon, dealing damage minus armor. Actually, damage minus physical resistance in HP. And we're not going to worry about defend. We're going to add a maneuver. Actually, quick maneuver. The character attempts. The character moves in a slight manner to change position. Or shoving their way through a situation. They are allowed to make a 10-foot move in any direction. And let's see, okay, actually, no. Yeah, no, let's do refocus. The character expends their stamina to rethink and recalculate their odds. They re-roll their initiative at the end of the round. Reroll their initiative at the end of that round with a +1d6. Quick item. The character uses an item with the quick tag. The quick tag applying its effects immediately. Complex that. Use item. The character uses an item without the quick tag, needing to get it out and apply it immediately. It can be used on item can be used on other targets if they are within 5 feet. Which I'm effectively going to have to... See, one of the advantages, and I will say this to anyone, about having a crunchier system with more mechanics in it, is that means you have more things to work with and augment. And now, this may seem kind of odd to say, but the core idea is that... let me shitpost loudly at people. Okay, no. Okay, we're all Gucci. We all Gucci. So, let's say, for example, our use item here. I'll zoom in a little bit so people can actually read it a little bit easier. We effectively have a few things we can work with here. So, without the quick tag. So, let's say a healing potion has the quick tag because you can just down it real fast. But let's say an item doesn't. We can now give a character a talent that allows them to apply a quick tag to something, which is valuable. Now, items can then be used on other targets if they are within 5 feet. That's another aspect we can change of something. Well, they can use it within 10 feet. They can use it within 20 feet. We can immediately change something about it. This one action here, one very simple action, has already been, twisted and turned into something a little bit more complex. Because now we can augment it with talents, maneuvers, and other things about the character. So just a little game design logic for you. Cast magic. The character attempts to cast a magic spell using their mana. Character expends the first stamina to ready the spell, then can use their second action to fire the spell, which I should actually add a delay action. The character designates an action to be used at a different initiative between their current initiative, between their current value and 0. So this is also kind of a bait option in some manner. So let's say I want to delay my cast of my magic. That's what I want to do. I want to spend an action, spend a stamina to effectively delay the use of this magic until after something happens. However, if you delay, it's going to happen at that time regardless. So if, let's say I'm going to delay this spell until after he gets into position, but he doesn't move into position correctly, or something happens along the way and suddenly he's stunned, something bad happens, now the spell's going to go off at 0. The spell's going to happen. And that's kind of the problem. Which actually what I should do is, in defense, I'm actually going to put the cancel action. The character immediately and stops performing a held action. Okay, so let's see. Simple action, defense actions. Actually, what I should do is I should put this up here. Defense actions can be used on the can be used during the round when the character is being attacked or being acted upon. These cost 1 stamina each. These cost a single stamina. Stamina to perform. Let's see, I've been streaming for a little over an hour. Okay. I'm going to try to get all the actions done. Which, I should hustle. The character makes a dedicated movement. Dedicated movement in a specific area, allowing them to move 30 feet in any direction of their choosing. And I should say additional stamina can be spent to increase movement by +5 feet. Well, it starts performing a held action. Dodge. The character attempts to dodge out of the way of an attack by rolling an opposed check. When rolling an opposed check, the attacker rolls their I call it strength. Let's call it strength or body. Yeah, strength rolls their strength / dex versus the defender's dex. Tank. The character attempts to tank the blow. Tank the blow. Actually, no, that's a block. The character blocks the attack with their shield or other defensive implement, allowing them to negate a certain amount of damage equal to its value. So defensive actions. What would be some more good defensive actions? Because I can see it. Let's see. So we have our basic dodge roll or block. The character moves 5 feet in any direction of their choice, if successful. Dive. The character dives out of the way of the attack and consumes 2 stamina. Actually dodges out of the way of the attack. The character is considered fallen. And requires a stamina to, is then considered fallen. So your dives, you kind of get out of jail free card. Dives out of the way of attack by moving 5 feet in any direction. Character is then considered fallen. And effectively, this is your get out of jail free card, but you're pretty much on your ass again. Which means you can't really perform any actions until you get back up. What would be another good defensive option? Actually, what I can do, we're going to go to Project Inchling, actually. Because I had a few ideas here. Give me defensive. There we go. Parrying. Parry. The character attempts to parry a blow, parry an attack by an enemy, by rolling an opposed check. The attacker rolls their strength versus the defender's fit or strength. Actually, strength. The character does not move during this time. Let's see. So let's take a look at our current actions or simple actions. Big think time. We want to scroll all the way up. I don't actually want to delete that image, that's the thing. Because it's quite thematic. Let's see, that's a heading 2, so we want to do heading 3 on you. And delay action. Control Shift 8. Expands initiative, applying different initiative. Heading 2, heading 3, I mean. I want to do 2 add-on sort of paragraph A to Z. Okay. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh no. No, no. Come on, quick maneuver. And refocus. Okay. Okay, so the dream here, is that players are going to be using their actions, their stamina effectively, in an effective manner, allowing them to duck, dive, dodge, and dip, and casters are going to want to possibly maintain stamina for bigger spells, while other characters, you know, the certain other fighters are going to want to be using their stamina a little bit more effectively to do more. They're the ones who are diving in there, doing the damage, diving around, doing the big hits. What I may have to do is, because I'm thinking about adding bigger boss fights, just like in the enemy section, it's like you clearly have the 3 tiers of enemies. You have your basic, you know, mooks, your goblins that you kind of kill by the dozens and nobody really cares. Then you have your kind of more invested enemies. And then you have your big boys, your big bosses that do a bunch of things and have a dedicated phase to literally everything they do. It's the, you know, the basic boss fight, you know, formula from, so, like, okay, he's winding up an attack, and at the end of the round, he's going to attack forward, and everyone in these spaces are going to get hurt, or everyone here is going to get dinged for this big damage. So it's a how do you even balance that unless you give him like an action first and action last? More whiff punishing and stuff like that. Yeah, I might do something like that. But let's take, actually, aim. The character takes a dedicated action to take aim with their weapon before an attack. The character adds a will add plus. I don't know how I want to do that. Alright. So I've been streaming for about an hour 20 now. Hour 20, hour and a half. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call it here. And I'm going to review everything I did for combat and start going through some of the... I need to fix you entirely. I'm just going to mark you in red because you make me feel sad. I'm then going to go around and double check everything to make sure... Actually, what I should do is I should do the battlefield here. Yeah, I'm just going to do the battlefield right now, just so I don't have to think about it. I'm going to have to fix this, but alright. Alright, when a character enters a battle, the battlefield is split into 5-foot sections, each allowing a single character to occupy it. A character can move freely in areas not occupied by other enemies. Enemies or foes. Other enemies or obstacles. Character can freely move once per... actually, no. When two opposing characters come into contact, a brawl zone a brawl zone erupts around them. A brawl zone is the area surrounding the two fighters in a 5-foot radius around them. See, at least I know there's been a discussion about doing zone-based combat. Do I want to switch over to zone-based combat? That might not be a terrible idea. No, I don't want to switch over to zone-based combat. I don't think that's the right decision. So a brawl zone is occupy the two fight, surrounding the fighters in a 5 feet radius around them. Any character who enters the brawl zone is considered to be in melee. Actually, no, that's not. How do I want it? Okay, you know what? Screw this. I don't want to deal with this today. Bleh. So yeah, I'm gonna call it there for today. Hope you guys enjoyed me ranting and me going on a deep dive into Gate. Most likely the second stream will be on Wednesday, and from there we're probably going to start working on the classes. The classes are going to be quite a few. I'm probably going to do about three classes a day, because it's literally just going to be me going through and saying this works, this doesn't work, what does this do? It's going to be just a lot of me So overall it should be pretty easy to do from here. I thought combat was going to be a lot harder, but it kind of clicked with me last night, and kind of clicked with me today even, as to how to make that work. Races are probably going to be one of the last things I actually work on, because it's going to be pretty quick to deal with. Outside of that, it's going to come down to numbers with a lot of these things, and kind of patching those numbers up and making sure that they work the way I want them to. I should also put Fallen somewhere in here. Oh god, yeah. So I'll probably be adding just a couple little stuff later tonight, so I will give everyone a heads up on, it should be Wednesday, next stream, if everything goes according to plan. But going according to plan is very rarely what happens here. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all had a wonderful rest of your day. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Godspeed, good luck, and see you later.